Hi, this is Tom again. Let's do the prologue of my novel. Prologue. Presidential Victory Speech, Washington, D.C., December 1962. President-elect Elijah Winter stepped up to the microphone amidst a deafening applause. He straightened his jacket and then held his hands out, requesting silence. The quiet rippled through the crowd as thousands upon thousands of voices stilled in anticipation. In front of him, the reflecting pool captured the shadow of Washington Monument spire. Behind him, the ruins of the Lincoln Memorial were lit by the oranges and pinks of the rising sun. My fellow Americans of these United States of America, good morning. The sun is rising behind you. I can see it all around you, bringing light and warmth to our world. A new day is dawning for new America, an America remade, an America reborn, an America reforged in the fires of civil war, an America reunited. The President-elect, Reverend Elijah Winters, paused for applause. Let us not forget on this peaceful morning the long night that America has lived through. Let us never forget, because to forget is to risk reliving the long, cold night that is just ending. To forget is to allow our children and our children's children to suffer through that bloody nightmare that nearly swallowed America whole. We will not forget. I will not forget. I remember when the world first learned that man can be remade. In May of 1940, German paratroopers attacked The Hague in the Netherlands. The paratroopers were stronger, faster, and more vicious than anything ever seen on Earth before. The world was introduced to Übermenschen. Germany claimed they created something above man, and Europe bled at the hands of these overmen. 2 years later, we released the Corps of Enhanced Soldiers, our own super soldiers, to save what was left of Europe. Men of might and valor, to combat the plague of Übermenschen, but it was too little. Too late. Germany's grip on Europe was too strong, their Übermenschen too numerous, and then came the avenging angels. Elijah paused here to allow his audience time to remember what it was like when the world first saw the avenging angels. Regenerative, enhanced soldiers. Angels without wings or halos. Angels made to avenge the rivers of blood in Europe. Angels made to make the Übermenschen bow down in submission. Our saviors. Or so we thought. We began winning. We were told that the angels could not die, that the angels did not need food, that the angels were a miracle of modern technology. Humanity improved. How little we knew. How naive we were. Europe trembled at the march of the angels. Germany bled. The angels killed. And we won. The angels and super soldiers came home, and we welcomed them with open arms. But they were not what the newsreels told us they were. Stories of atrocities started to show up in newspapers. Angels kill at home. Super soldiers lose control and cause havoc. Our own streets ran red. So the government responded with a silent recall. The angels and super soldiers started to disappear in the night. We saw in that act shades of the Nazis. We saw in our own government a shape and a shadow of the evil that we fought so hard to destroy overseas. There were protests. There were riots. There was disunity in a country we claimed to call united. America was a simmering kettle on the edge of a full boil. Then Richard Smith tipped the balance. He united the people in opposition to the government. He gave them a voice to follow, a face to look to for hope and leadership, and he led us into civil war, the Angelic Revolt. Behind, and to the president-elect's right, Sergeant Benjamin Williams of the United States Army stood at attention. His face was a stoic mask. Sergeant Williams stood in a line populated by war heroes, men who served with bravery, men whose entire careers earned them the right to stand on that stage. But not Sergeant Williams. He was given the honor of standing on the same platform as the future president during this victory speech because of a single act. The young sergeant with the unimpressive resume did the impossible. He killed the devil. At least he killed the closest thing to the devil incarnate in the modern world, Richard Smith. As the president continued with his victory speech, Sergeant Williams bravely resisted the urge to draw his sidearm and duck for cover in fear, as his mind barraged him with images of that day. The images came at him in bright strobes, intense, and then gone. A soldier, dead or dying, being used as a club to kill other soldiers in a tight corridor. Another soldier, airborne, screaming. Emptying a magazine into the center of mass of an angel and watching it keep moving, keep smiling. The smell of burnt gunpowder and blood and fear. Running away, slipping in blood, spinning to see death's lupine smile. The weight bearing down on his knife, the resistance, the crushing embrace. The heat of the fire, the smell of gasoline, the screams.